So, schools aren't exactly that effective against pandemics. Our education system is more or less the equivalent of cram a bunch of kids into one room, and for middle school and high school, we cram a bunch of kids into one room times 7. So, because the education system isn't exactly great at dealing with pandemics, obviously they end up canceling school, and most people switch to online school. A lot of people got upset that high school was canceled, especially all the girls that their prom got canceled and they get to go to prom. Which I mean, yeah. If I was a girl, I'd be pretty damn upset if I was planning every day of about prom, and then all of a sudden the pandemic comes up and I can't go there. And obviously, the girls are a lot more social than boys, so a pandemic is gonna hurt them a lot more about not being able to socialize with other people than with boys. And I know it may sound crazy to some of the grade schoolers and middle schoolers, but eventually, when you come to high school, you kind of do wake up in the morning excited to go there and socialize with all your friends and whatnot. I mean, when was the last time you saw a grade school or middle school movie? I mean, probably never. But we've had plenty of high school movies, but yeah, only high school movies and that's it. Because the high school is the golden years, not the middle school, not the grade school, the high school. So besides a bunch of kids getting pissed off that they kind of ruined their high school experience with the pandemic, obviously the second part, everyone switched to online school. To summarize online school in a few words, it basically be, if you were doing good in school before, you'll be doing better in online school. If you were doing bad in school before, you'll be doing worse. Now the reason why you'll be doing better in school if you were doing good before is being able to go at your own pace. Whenever I was in 6th grade, my routine was basically do 10 minutes in each class and play 40 minutes on my Nintendo Switch for the rest of the class. And if I was able to go at my own pace, I'd be able to get almost all of school done within a very short period of time. So then that's what online school allows me to do. I was able to skip 2 grades in every single subject, and I was able to get all of math done, and I was able to get 12th grade English done. Quite an impressive feat. Anyways, so that's how the smarter people get benefited. Or, I guess you don't necessarily are smart just because you can do school. I mean, obviously it's a sign. But the people who do better in school are going to benefit from it. But for the people who aren't so good at school, the people who don't like doing school because the work is pointless, and I mean, the people who are better at school also think the work is pointless. It's just that they're better at it, so they don't really complain as much as the people who aren't quite as good at it. Now, when you're not that good at school, it's hard to motivate yourself on online school to do that work when it's more or less worthless. You're never going to use anything you learn in school, so why should I have to do it? And yeah, I don't blame you for if you feel dragged on trying to do your online schoolwork. I don't blame you. School sucks. I hate school. I hate doing all the schoolwork, but again, I'm better at it, so I don't hate it as much as everyone else. So besides online schooling in high school, there's also the colleges. And I think all there really is to say about the college and global pandemic is that it showed that people weren't going to college to, get a college education. They were going to college to get a high school degree. I mean, they were going to school to get a high school experience again. Let me elaborate on that a little bit more. So basically, what happened is that all the colleges offered online schooling instead of offering, the physical classes because pandemic or whatever. And a lot of people got mad over it. And like I just said, if you're doing good in school before, you should be able to do good in online classes. So it should be a win-win. And the reason why is because not everyone goes to school to get a college education and be better in life. A lot of people go to school to avoid working and to have an extra 4 years of high school, all while racking up a massive debt. And for specifically Ivy League schools, here's the thing about Ivy League schools. If you are able to get into an Ivy League school, you probably don't need it to begin with. Like, for example, Harvard. Like one of their guidelines or whatever is you have to have a successful business. Well, if you have a successful business, why do you need to go to Harvard? So, and all the people who actually might, benefit from Harvard end up getting on the wait list. So, that is one good thing that does come from the pandemic. It does allow the people in Harvard or whatever who actually could benefit from it to be able to go to Harvard instead of all the people who don't really need it to begin with. And then the final topic there is should we keep schools open? And this may seem an obvious answer of no, but it's honestly a lot more complicated than that because of dual income families. Because you end up with a weird situation with dual income families. Since both parents are working, that means you have to have some person to babysit the kid. And for most families, that's the school system. The school system will babysit the kid, but obviously the school system isn't exactly great right now because, again, cramming a bunch of people into one room isn't the best idea. But on the other hand, you could drop off your kid at grandma's or whatever and have her take care of her, or him or her. But then you end up with a situation of if one of the parents get COVID and they give COVID to the kid, the grandma's going to catch COVID, and older people are going to have a lot harder time of dealing with it than the parents or the kids. So the situation here is not exactly obvious yes or obvious no. On one hand, you're going to spread it through school, and as we all know, kids aren't exactly the most responsible people. But on the other hand, what if, grandma or whatever ends up getting coronavirus anyways? So it's a really weird limbo when it comes to dual income families, and it's just one of those situations where there's no obvious yes, there's no right answer. So I say we keep it open, because either way, it doesn't seem that great. Anyways, that's all I really have to say about the pandemic and the education system. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.